Welcome back to another episode of the Speak Your Truth podcast, man. We are, of course, here at Double M Studios, and man, this one right here is long overdue, essentially, right? I met this man probably 2 years ago now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, man, just for Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? People don't know I tapped into the that other side of the DMV, right? That people like to say, Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? I got my man, the one and
Yeah.
only. I appreciate this one especially too, man. John Crosby, bro.
Yep,
John
man.
Gotti.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? I appreciate your time, man, for
Appreciate you
coming out to
having me.
Rockville, man.
Appreciate you having me.
For sure. So first of all, he took a 50-minute drive out this joint. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yep.
from Baltimore to Rockville, man. Just talk about what were you thinking about just on the way here?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm just driving, just cruising, just looking, seeing the road. I'm like, yeah, I like it out here. Like I said when I first got out here, bro,
Yeah.
I'm like, I like it. The vibe is just chill. But I've been out here a couple times, just running
Okay.
around, like going back and forth to DC or.
Mm-hmm.
So I came out here before. I think stopped at one of like a little shopping center, got something to eat a Panera. I'm just
For
like,
sure.
bro, I low key can live out here. Like it's nice, good
For
vibes.
sure. Hell
Like
yeah. I was say
ain't too
definitely.
much going on.
Yeah, I was say way different from North Avenue, right? I heard that's where you're from, right?
Yeah,
So we can.
bro.
I was say we can start right
It's a
there,
little
bro.
different.
Yeah, I was say we can start right there. Obviously the upbringing coming from Baltimore, the inner city, like.
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling you before, like I'm used to navigating DC. Like
Mhm.
DC is kind of, it's pretty easy, but the
Mhm.
driving is complicated. But
Yeah.
just navigating DC, I know I have more of that like energy, that kind of
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
influence, I should say. But Baltimore, right? One thing I learned after working out there and being around a whole bunch of people was just like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's really, really different. Like it's a
Yeah. It's a
different
different
energy.
world.
Yeah, it's a whole
For real.
different world. Like you don't know what the fuck can happen out there in Baltimore. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm working
Oh.
at a gym, a basketball gym, y'all, and it's like you got anybody that walk through. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Obviously, you got people like John, good folks, but there's also some people that might look like good folks like John, but
Yeah.
it could be a whole.
We all in a bunch together. We don't never know what you gonna get.
Exactly. I'm telling you, man. So just talk about that inner city life, man.
Yeah.
Over where you from, man.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad I got out though for sure. Like
Mm-hmm.
getting to travel and
Right.
like different cities, different states, you get to see like yo, it's different. Like, but I would never be able to tell you that if I ain't never get out. Cause before I ain't really travel much. Like
Right.
high school, you play AAU, so you gone like once or twice a summer.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I'm in Baltimore around people that's, we
Right.
all the same. So
Yeah.
we thinking the same, we act the
Right.
same, and a lot of stuff I just thought was normal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Just saying random shootings, you at the market with your mother,
Mm-hmm.
like stuff like that. Like people stealing cars, bro.
Right.
Little kids. We got the Chrysler boys,
Yeah.
like, bro. People stealing the Hellcats easy, like it's
Mm.
just all type of crazy stuff going on. So you really like, yo, this normal, like.
Right.
So you get out, you like, bro, talk about some of the stuff you've been through, and people like, what the world
Yeah,
you
what's
got
going
going?
on?
Like that's like you was doing that at 12,
Yeah.
like so. I'm like, yeah. But saying that, bro, so you notice like Baltimore really is own world. Like when
Yeah.
you, like
Yeah.
they got their own rules and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, but yeah, so growing up there, bro, just like you live fast, like you grow up
Mm-hmm.
fast. So like I was probably like 9 or 8 where I got my own key, and my mother like, you lose this key, you ain't getting in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So like you grow up fast, like you got that early. And
Right.
you make certain mistakes you don't ever come back from. So I started losing people at like 10,
Wow.
where like death really was like a thing. Like dang, like he
Mm-hmm.
died. Like so, I had a big bro named Ishmael, middle school.
Okay.
I was probably like in the fourth, and he got shot in the head. And they told us that like
Wow.
he died, he got shot in the head. So we like, huh? Like so he not like
Yeah.
what that mean? Like
Right.
you know what I'm saying? As a
Mm-hmm.
kid, you start knowing what death is. Like you start
Right.
knowing what grieving, like going to
Mm-hmm.
funerals. So it's like
I was
you
gonna
gotta
say.
grow up fast. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say like it sounds like emotional intelligence. Like that's something that y'all have to really work on out
yeah,
there. You know what I'm saying? Like because it like these things seem to happen. Like you said,
yeah,
it's
it's
regular.
normal. Like,
You know what I'm saying? How is it like? Or what was it like having to just process? Just how you felt at the time. You know what I'm saying?
bro,
'Cause
I
you
ain't
were
gonna
kids.
lie, I didn't even know what I was feeling.
Right.
Like until now, like like dang, I was grieving. Like
Mm-hmm.
dang, that was sad. Like dang,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of the emotions you don't even know. You just going about it like
Right.
moving on next day,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody doing the same thing you doing.
Right.
And then you grow up and you learn people cope differently. So you got people that do drugs to cope with it. You got
Mm-hmm.
people who got different vices, might drink, might sit lean, whatever, and like
Mm-hmm.
you start to understand, like, bro, I can't really never judge nobody
Right.
because everybody handle they, grief different. So
Mm-hmm.
I learned that, like, early on, and then mental health,
Right.
like all of that, like I never knew until I got older and was like, bro, so I'm coming back to my city and I'm starting to talk about it a little more because like, bro, you just sad, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You
Right.
ain't got beef with that dude, or you ain't got to kill that man. You just sad, you hurt, like. But we don't talk about it, so a lot of people react, and you know what I'm saying. Then they get sit down, they go to jail, and you hear a lot of people enlightened all of a sudden. It's just like, bro, you just had time to think and get away from Baltimore. So like, I think that's it's been better because people taking vacations, like starting to see like, yo, you can go to Miami, like,
For sure.
like, bro, we ain't gotta be stuck in the hood. Like, you see hood dudes getting out and going on vacations now. I'm loving it, like, but you know, social media definitely brought a lot of awareness to Baltimore, and we. You know, a lot of people starting to see the culture a little more. So it's like, I think it's been good.
For sure. And I was about to say, Baltimore culture is very unique. Like, it's definitely not like DC.
Yeah.
You guys, for me, is more so like cousins with Philly in a sense, right? Like,
real similar.
Yeah, closer to Philly. But it's still like you guys are like, it's Baltimore. Baltimore is Baltimore. Like y'all, you go to Baltimore, ain't nobody saying they from Maryland. They saying they from Baltimore. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
I hate that. Like, I don't know why, bro. Hate it. Like, I know how it is. I'm more like, I like it. You know, I like embracing different cultures. Like, so DC, I love DC music. Like, I'm tapping in with all the rappers, the culture, like the dances, like the go-go. Like, I really like everything. So I ain't even like, God grew up to like it. So go-go and all, I be listening like, yo, this tough for real. Like, I be wanting to learn different stuff. Like, even down south, like, I be wanting to learn all the, like, you know, the bounce music and all that. Like, you start to learn, like, music is, like, it's cultures from everywhere, but it's like, it's art. So it's like, I embrace it, but not a lot of people in my city. I'm stuck in my ways. It's the only thing hard. Like, it's gotta be the Baltimore way. So, but I understand it though. Like, you know, people love their culture and want to, you know, keep it continue with. So, but I like how it is now though, bro. Like, we, you know, tapped in with different, you know, everybody tapped in. Like, I like that. I don't like it like. Cause we was beefing with DC and Moco and all that for a long time. Like, it was crazy. Like, I growing up, I remember like, bro, them like calling us Bammers and all. I'm like, what, Bama? Like, I don't like them DC niggas. Like, for no reason. I don't even know nobody from DC. It just was like a rivalry. Every time AAU tournaments when we played DC or and all, we always end up fighting. And I'm like, bro, why are we so like?
Yeah,
like,
why is it always up
so
with them?
like, what's the rah-rah? Like, I said now, no, we just different, but we close but different.
Right, for sure. And
So,
I was gonna say, you know, because of, I guess, how, you know, like you were saying earlier, like a lot of people from Baltimore that make it out, or people that have, you know, a better sense of awareness of what the situation is. There's a lot more, like, I would say, from what I've seen, like a lot more appreciation and love and like try to like and tenderness and care for people like out in Baltimore, because they know like, all right, like we gotta get shorties off the street. We might gotta, you know what I'm saying, just keep them in the gym. We got to just find a ways to keep the positivity flowing because of all the negativity going outside of the inner city. So like, I know for you, like, you know, basketball, music, you know what I'm saying. What led you to those two outlets for real?
I mean, music probably always has been a part of my life. Cause I ain't started playing basketball till I was like 11 or 12. I kind of was a late, like getting into a late compared to everybody else. Cause you got dudes start at like 4. Like a couple of my like homeboys, like they was already good when I started playing. So they was ranked and all that. So I'm like way behind. Like I started out playing football, a little bit of baseball, a little stuff you could do in the neighborhood by yourself, you know. Cause basketball, I ain't really pick up a basketball yet, but football, you could throw the football with your cousins and all that. And a lot of my homeboys was playing football on the street. So that's why I grew up thinking I was gonna be a football player. Till I got to like 10, 12, bro, and them hits start. They start really hitting you now. Like, you start getting really cracked. I'm like, coming to practice and all that, they really laying you, like, going oak with somebody. And I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I like basketball a little more. Like, that's when it hit me. I'm like, I think I like basketball more. I like turned in my shoulder pads and all that. I'm like, man, I want to go to basketball camp. Went to basketball camp, bro. My 11, like, when I was 11 that summer, going into, like, when I turned 12, bro, I was locked in since. So basketball, like, but like I said, music, that just, my mother used to grow up. I ain't never, like, as a kid, I know how people got, like, different parents, like, oh, yeah, you can't listen to that. That's too, nah, bro. I knew 3 6 Mafia, like, you feel me? I'm listening to Master P. Like, like, my mother was big on, like, Southern hip-hop and, of course, like, the Mary J. Blige you hear on Sunday. She cooking Mary J. and different, like, Luther Vandross. So I'm locked in, and my grandmother was tapping in with the music. Grandfather the same way. So I always been big on music and just, like, so the rap thing, though, like, I ain't really think, like, you could do it. Like, I didn't know it was like possible for you to become a rapper. I thought that was already like something you had to like. I don't know. For some reason, it just ain't like we ain't got many studios back then. Like, you ain't never really hear nobody talking about making music. So for the most part, I thought that was just like TV, like an actor or something. Like, till I got older, like, dang, you could really book studio time and really lay, you know, put your story on the beat. Like, I'm like, damn, like that's tough. So I just always used to, and it's crazy. I used to have a notebook. I used to write down T.I., like all the rappers. I used to write down these songs and remember them like they was mine. Like for real, I used to really like. I remember doing that, like really hearing a song and listen to it and listen to every word they saying and write it out, and then I know it by heart like it was mine. So I fake perform for my mother. Like I put on like MTV and all that. I play the song in the back, grab a little mic or whatever, grab a remote and get to performing like it's my song. My mom used to always be laughing at me, bro. Like when she used to have our friends come over, she'd be like, "Yeah, go ahead, Gotti, put the music on." So I used to grab a mic, get the performing masterpiece on, bro. Like I was doing this young, bro, like 8, 7. I always had like a personality, like far as performing and all that. But so when I got older, it was like just natural. Like, bro, I'm getting in the booth. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that's been you, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I always thought you had to pick one, like. I'm a basketball player, but as I got older, I'm like, nah, Master P really played in the NBA. He played in the NBA, bro. So I'm like, yeah.
And all the NBA players that's rapping now, because, you know, like, we was talking about off camera, like, and I've brought up this point before, too. The fact that some ball players want to be rappers want to be ball players, right? But it's like we were saying, it's like it's a similar art in a sense, right? And that's why, especially for me, that's who I gravitate towards when I speak about these things. It's like, you know, just the process of going through getting better, of like making a song, or the same way that you will get better at your jump shot, or get better with your handle, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just
put them hours in.
So when did you realize that you could do that for both? When was that time that you realized you could do it for both?
I think when I was in college, my major was communications.
Okay.
So that was the first time it really hit me, like, dang, like I'm going to school for this, and it's like already, it's natural. Like we learning about, you know, podcasts and all this before it really like blew up. And I really used to just sit in a room all the time on YouTube, bro, watching podcasts. And then I hear, like, at first, like, I think the biggest jump for real was the podcast and that space, because it opened up, like, rappers talking now. So, like, a Michael Jackson, like, you ain't really get to hear a lot of people real, like, how they thoughts and how they feel, how they go about their work or nothing, because they was more so doing press runs only when they album drop, or so you seen them once a year. But now you could just tap on YouTube and listen to G Herbo talk, or you feel me? Like he used to play basketball, or you know what I'm saying? Like a Partisan Fontaine. Like it's so many dudes that be like, yo, yeah, I grew up hooping and now I make music. So I like, dang, like podcast and all that. And I'm in the space, so I'm like, dang, I'm gonna take it serious, like, cause I'm already in the studio now. I'm getting like you get access to the studio with your major. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take it serious for sure. Like, and then I made my first song or whatever. My whole team was bumping it, like my whole team was listening to it, like, yo, John rap, man. Crazy, my man's from Detroit. He we on live one day just banging on the desk in college, like banging on the desk, and Snap Dogg hopped on there. I was freestyling. He like, who Shorty is? Who that is? Yo, that's my man's right there. Like Snap Dogg from Detroit. He like, yeah, he hard. Like, put him back on. Like, let him rap again. Like, well, we was like 5, 6 deep in there just freestyling. They kept telling me, yo, get him back on there, bro. That's my man. Like, Baltimore hard. Like, so I like, yo, this really crazy. Like, people liking the music. People liking what I'm doing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep going. So, like, probably like 2018, 2017, I could say, like, I really started, like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna take music serious. Like, I'm going to actually make some songs. I'm going to put some music together. Then I started learning, like, album covers, all that other stuff like that going to it. So it took me a while, though, to really understand it. Like, it's really a business, like.
For sure.
So 2020, I'd say that's really, like, my official year where I was, like, tapped in, did, you know, paid for art and, you know, for the album, got beats from people, like, all the other stuff. Like, before then, I was just rapping on YouTube beats and getting instrumentals and just rapping. So
for sure,
yeah.
I say that's how most people start, especially like the athletes. You know, having the locker room time. You know what I'm saying? With you guys. You know what I'm saying? And before we get back into the music, you know, obviously you had a successful career in basketball as well. You know what I'm saying? You've functioned from, you know, playing at Dayton University. Now you've been playing in 5 countries professionally. You know what I'm saying? Talk about just, you know, one, how you're able to do that, and I feel like it comes to the testament. You have a tattoo on your leg right now. I see humble.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you get yourself into these spaces? Because obviously there's a lot of people with skill. There's a lot of people that have talent, but there's something else about you that you have to have that can get you into these spaces. So just talk about what you did to navigate yourself.
I think what separated me, like, just coming up from my city, I guess just, like, one, being humble, like, the type person I am, but being a good dude. But I think really it just was, like, how, like, I guess it was a gift and a curse me not knowing a lot of stuff, because my mother, she wasn't in the sports, my father wasn't in the sports. My father and mother was in the streets, so they ain't even graduate high school. So when I came in and, like, hit the scene of basketball, whatever I wanted to do was just like a clear slate for me. Like, I never had no influence to tell me what to do. So I was just open to so much. Like, bro, I used to just watch people, like all the high school players, like all the big names, Josh Selby, Kill, all of them. I literally sat and watched them like a student, like go to their games, like leave school a little early to go to their games, make sure I get there, like go watch a JV play. Like, I was never one of them dudes that was like, oh, here, bum. I used to watch, like, I used to play one-on-one against this dude. He like a crackhead or something. Like, people, like, you know, he asked for money and all that. Like, I really learned how to play basketball from him. He was like a legend at Dunbar. He used to tell me all these stories, how he played basketball, but like he fell off, and a lot of people in our neighborhood used to laugh at him. I used to like kick it with him and really understand like how what went wrong. And bro, he used to tell me stories like, yo, I used to play with Skip Wise and like legends. And Dunbar was, Dunbar, legendary school in Baltimore. So like seeing him early, like I'm like 15, just playing one-on-one with him, and he beating me. And he like 60, like, you know what I'm saying? This old dude from around the way, like, beat me one-on-one. That's when I'm like, bro, like, my mind just was like, bro, I'm just always open to learning. So I think that, like, separated me for real. Like, so dudes that got skill, they might feel like they too good to get coached, or they might feel like they can't learn nothing because they good at 15, and now they ceiling is 15. So they don't never get better. Like, so me, like, I used to get better, like, by the month. Like, it be time my coach, like, tell me something, and I'm, like, working on it. Next thing you know, that's, like, something I'm good at doing, like, just because I'm open to listening, open to being coached. So that's something I learned, though. Like, a lot of players, like, especially at the level we at now, overseas, you getting paid. Like, you probably is one of the best in your city, you know, if you make it overseas or get to play at the highest level. So you start saying dudes, like, turn off their head, like, they don't hear no more. Like, or they not, like, humble enough to really, like, be coached. So I think that be hurting a lot of people. But that helped me, though, for real. Like, in the long run, me not knowing a lot or not having no, like, big, NBA background, like no cousin that played in the league or nothing. Like, so I was just always like, bro, I don't care who it is. Like, I could listen to them. Like, or if they telling me something, I'm going to listen. Like, so I think that's probably the biggest thing that separated me from, like, the other guys that made it this far or whatever. Just, like, that's being humble and being a good dude, too. Just somebody you could be around and talk to. Like, dudes don't feel like they got to be a certain way around me. Like, I'm approachable. Like, you could ask me anything. Like, that's what I think. Because a lot of dudes, bro, I remember, like, me coming up and not having a name, and you couldn't even approach some of these dudes. But now it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? They want to kick it, or I'm just like, dang, that's crazy. Like, you got to be a certain level to, like, talk to these dudes, or you know what I'm saying? Or for the, like, you got,
it's ego, you know what I'm saying? It's really what it is.
It's always ego. Been that, like, but for me, like, even when I start getting good, like, people was like, yo, don't forget about me. I'm like, what? Like, people used to always say that to me, like, but of course, I guess, that's something you gotta say to somebody from where we from. Like, you gotta remind a dude, like, yo, remember we was in the mud together, like, don't forget about me, like, but I never was like that. I'm like, forget about how, bro, like, we locked in, like, you my friend now. Like, if I get good and get scholarships, you gonna be my friend then. Like, so that was always my thing, bro. I ain't gonna never change. Like,
for sure,
I'm gonna just stay solid. Like, I'm real close with my mother. I ain't changing it. I'm real close with my cousins. I ain't changing it. And, like, when I got older and I started getting in certain rooms, and I ain't gonna lie, though, I learned a valuable lesson with this, though, bro. I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm at Dayton my freshman year, and I had my mans. He from Baltimore, and, like, he hooped too. He a good dude too, but I had my cousins and all them in the locker room, bro. I'm showing them this stuff because I'm like, bro, we ain't never get to see nothing like this before. We had like a $4 million locker room, name tags on the lockers, like gear everywhere. Like, I was giving everybody gear. It was just like, bro, I had to show them it. Like, it was important to me to show my people, like, bro, it's levels to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I brought them all in the locker room. We turned up. My coach caught me like. And he was kind of mad about it because he probably thought I was on some, like, thugged out stuff. But really, these good kids, like, these good dudes, you know what I'm saying, I'm bringing in the locker room. But I learned from it, though. Like, just, you know, it's a time and a place for it. Exactly, so I learned that. But it was right before a game. I shouldn't have did that. But that was my freshman year, and my coach kind of was mad, but he ain't say nothing. But then he reached back home and was like, yeah, John had these dudes out here. And my coach had to let him know, like, John ain't no knucklehead. Like, he wouldn't have had no dudes that's, like, you know, gangsters or nothing like that in the locker room. But they probably took it as that. They probably see the, you know, tattoos and we jumping around, happy, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I learned, though, I'm like, all right, it's a time and a place for real. But still want to get back, but still want to be professional at the same time. So.
I was gonna say, you know, and even you just talking about that, like, have you ever felt like, you know, people have maybe like slighted you or like even just kind of counted you out or like gave you like wrong judgment, I should say, like in terms of you being from Baltimore, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know people, like, when they hear, we were talking about earlier, like just through the stories and all the things that happened, like, you know, from Baltimore, but like, has there ever been a point where you feel like people kind of said, oh, he from Baltimore, like, we might gotta watch out for him?
Yeah, definitely. I went through that at Dayton for sure, because Dayton is like, it's a PWI, it's a big university too, and we played on ESPN a lot, and you had a lot of success winning in the tournament. So right before I got there, they went to the Elite 8 or Sweet 16 run. So we got like real basketball history, and Dayton is like, bro, it's like the best thing I can like compare to is like playing for the Ravens, bro, and being from Baltimore.
Right.
So it's like you go to Dayton, bro, and play on the team. Everybody know you in Dayton. Everybody know you in Ohio. So it's like you could be at Walmart and people running up to you. So it's like that was like the first time for me. Like I always was the type guy like, bro, just be professional when you out. You ain't out drunk, right? Like I never was like that. So I always thought like people always watching anyway. But when I got to Dayton, like it hit me to a whole nother level. You just walking. Like I used to just walk from my dorm to the store just by myself. Right. And I just had people ride down, jump out the car, ask to take pictures and stuff like that. So I'm like what's going on? Yeah, like, bro, I ain't like kind of crazy to me. Like it was kind of weird for me. So just being like, and I used to walk around with my earphones all the time, like be just kind of like not open, like you know what I'm saying. And I learned like, dang, like people really want to see you, like people want to like know you. And I just always been like a quiet kid and like stuff like that kind of like make me like. Like, so now I'm like moving a certain way. I'm moving like I'm from Baltimore, to be honest. Like, I'm watching my surroundings and what, like, I'm here. Like, what? Walking away, like, you feel me? Like, so, to the point, like, yeah, they probably thinking, like, I'm on some, like who that, like, bro? Like, why he act like that? Like, but now I'm not used to this, bro. Like, it took me a long time to really open up and, like, go to parties and, like, stuff like that. Like, I was always in my room. Like, dudes used to be like, yo, this girl asked about you, or yo, like, they always asking, like, bro, do you talk? Like, if I don't know you, I ain't gonna talk to you. But that's how we is in Baltimore, bro. Like, if I don't know you, like, what we talking about? Or if you just walk up on me, like, I'm gonna be like, what's up? Like, I'm on point, cause like, but I learned, like, bro, it's not like that everywhere. But that was like some growing pains, just like getting out the hood or making it out, bro. I used to just think everybody was like out to get me type thing or something like. Felt like I always had to watch my surroundings, but that just gave me like a new like reality being out there. And but people definitely looked at me and judged me early, like before knowing me, because I had a lot of people see me and hear me talk and be like, yo, what the, like, bro, like, you interesting, bro, like what, where you from, bro? Like start being real interested in like me, cause and even like my team and all that, like I wasn't like the best player my freshman year or nothing like that, but I was definitely probably the most popular. Like for whatever reason, like the newspaper always used to cover me. I used to always have my pictures in the newspaper. I always had interviews, and I wasn't a leading scorer or I wasn't a senior or junior. I ain't never really done nothing in college yet, but people just used to be interested in me having tattoos, quiet dude that been through a lot. And so yeah, but a lot of people definitely like just wrote me up, kind of like, hey, I don't like him. He like this or he like that. He like John ain't like that. Like, bro, he the coolest person ever. Like you gotta just talk to him. Like, but yeah, a lot of people used to be like, yeah, like I don't like John. Like he, but the whole time just like where we from.
For sure. Would you say that, like, you know, through all of that, right, and like through the upbringing, how would you? What would you say to that? I know because you've been around like the younger generation now a little bit. Just what would you tell like that Baltimore kid right now too? That's like kind of in similar shoes as you, because I feel like a lot of people in the scenarios, right? They feel like because of their circumstance, because of the environment, that's kind of like their excuse for them to be who they are, instead of kind of like what you've done, kind of just like pushing yourself mentally to be open. So like, what would you tell to that next kid from Baltimore right now?
Yeah, I'd be like, bro, it's a big world. Like, that's what I tell everybody. Like, even my cousins and all that, like, they still hang on the same block. I come home and tell them all the time, bro, like, for your birthday, bro, please don't go down the harbor. Go to DC, go somewhere else, bro. Go to like Virginia, like start. Right. You ain't gotta go to Tulum or nothing. Like ain't gotta be nothing extravagant, bro. Just drive down to like Tyson's Corner for the weekend, like bro. Just go see they malls, like. Right. Don't keep shopping at Mondawmin, or you feel me? If you from Cherry Hill, don't stay in South Baltimore. Like it's a big world, bro, and it's so like world beautiful. Like you feel me? And I heard Jeezy say this, like the earth is our turf. I used to say that when I was little, thinking it sounds slick on the rap, but for real though, like bro, the earth free to go. You feel me? Like it's people that really like travel the world, and that's their thing. They're a world traveler, bro. They go see different cultures, eat different foods, be with different people, and it's like crazy how if you really tap into that and think about it, like bro, the world's so big and beautiful, like, and you ain't gotta see it on pictures no more. Like you can go do it yourself. Like you can just drive, like, or you feel me, get a plane ticket. Plan in advance, get a cheap ticket. Like it's so many ways around. Like so, it ain't no excuse. I feel like, and I be telling the young dudes that all the time, bro. Like it ain't no excuse to be dumb. Like it ain't no excuse to not know. It's no excuse to be ignorant, bro. You got resources to get it, and you got the internet. Like all the stuff, like right here at your feet. So if you choose to not, you feel me, like live your life, it's you. Like it's really like, and I don't understand that a dude be like, yo, I'm from 32nd Street. It's my block. Like I never understood that, bro. That could be your block, and you could still go enjoy the world and come back and you feel me, and get back. Like 'cause a lot of dudes talk about giving back. My block, I'm holding down my block. You ain't giving back, bro. Like 'cause you ain't experiencing the world. Like giving back to your community is embracing other cultures, languages, different foods, and bringing it back so they can experience it. You know what I'm saying? So the stuff I get to do, like even like the small thing, like getting on a plane, like bro, I get to come home and tell people like getting on a plane ain't scary, like that you could really do that, like little stuff like that, bro. People in my neighborhood like, what? Like you took a 16-hour flight? Yeah, it was fun. Like I watched like 5 movies that's in the theater. Like they gave us meals every 2 hours. Like they was waking me up to eat. Food was good. Like give you pillows. Like you feel me? Earphones. Like they like what? Like yo, I gotta do that one time. Like that's how I look at giving back. Not giving back like you stuck in the hood. You like, you in the way for real. I look at people like that, like you in the way, bro. Like you get out here and do something, like So that's what I tell the youngins, bro. Like change your mindset. You gotta change your perspective. The dude that's in the hood drinking all day and holding down the block and all that, and that's not the guy you want to be. Like talking about, yo, I'm 32nd Street and I'm from West. Like, bro, be the guy that traveled to PG and you feel me, messing women out there, and they taught you a couple things, and you learned, or you go to Virginia and learn it's a Spanish community, and you realize you like tacos, and you know what I'm saying, like just little stuff like that, bro. Like get out, and then you could come back and be like, yo, this what I did, and guess what you gonna do? You gonna have probably somebody grandmother wanting to do it, or you gonna like spark some type of knowledge in her head that she wanna learn something now. Like, oh, it's cool like that. It's safe. Like. Like, people be scared of that, too. Like, thinking you travel the world, like, it's not safe.
Right.
Like, bro, you been to, because I've been to Kuwait, Iraq, like, I've been to places that, like, sound crazy. And I get there, I'm like, bro, these people love me. Like, they, like, still hitting me up on Facebook, asking me how I'm doing. Like, they good people. Like, but you would never know that if you was just closed off. Like, nah, I never go there. Yeah. Because people be, I'm on the phone, like, bro, I'm here now. Like, they like, what? What? Boy, you better be safe. Like, boy, they gonna kill you. Like, yo, bro, these people love you, bro. Like, you gotta come out here and see it for yourself, bro. These people is running up to me, taking pictures with me. Like, they don't even know what I do. Like, they not even asking me what I do. Right. They just love seeing different people, and they hear about America all the time. Like, so, I'm like, bro, people love us for real. Like, if you really get out there, and I want to go to China because I heard it's the same. Like, they love black people. They embrace the culture. Like, they love us. So it's like, bro, it's so much that we got like as a people that we don't know. And
Right.
I feel like you just being stuck in your block, that's just like the most ignorant thing you could do.